Okay, I think we're actually online now. My goodness, this thing is not working. Jen, enjoy.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, we just
Guys, we apologise. The problems we have had tonight you would not believe.
yes. Oh, there we go. Now I'm on screen. She just presses random buttons and then suddenly she goes, right, Jen, I'll leave you in peace now that I've messed it all up. Actually, no, she got the microphone running. The reason we're a little bit late tonight, and hello to all of you. It's, oh, sorry.
I was just making sure that you actually were online. Right, where's my drink?
Yeah, drink.
I needed it this rate. Oh my goodness.
Anywho.
Do you want anything?
Yeah, some kind of booze would be nice.
Okay, I'll go and get you some.
Do we have any?
I'll go and get you some.
Oh, okay.
What would you like?
A nice cider actually. I'm really into my cider at the moment. What are we?
You've probably morphed into the Wurzels.
Oh, sorry.
I'll be back.
Okay, Arnie. You caught me on the hop here, really. We're just kind of desperately trying to get the microphone system to work. We're using OBS. It's our software of choice for being able to do these live streams. And unfortunately, OBS, you get what you pay for. It's free. So there we go. Anyway, who's in the house? We've got Brockwell Lane. Greetings to you. Canadian Rail fan. Hello to you. Les Cliff. Good to see you. Leslie Gilpin. Greetings to you. Tony Britton. Evening to you. Gout. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing that correctly, but hi to you. Anyway, New Mills Model Railway. Good evening. Never mind, problems happen to the best of broadcasters. Yeah, it'll be all right on the night. I've had all sorts of things in my career as a broadcaster. I think the funniest thing that ever happened to me, I'm sure it was a station prank, back when I really first started, was being told to record. This was late at night. Oh, we need you to record a trail. And then they all went through into the control room, and what I didn't know was that it was going out live and they were playing a prank on me. So I was I kept doing retake after retake, and I couldn't work out why they were sniggering and laughing their heads off in the other room through the bulletproof glass. And yeah, they got me good. Oh gosh, lots of comments coming in. Let's just scroll back up so I can read you all. Les Cliff and me, Zoe. You wanting a cider? You can pop down if you want, Les. You know where he knows where I live. Because I'm here all on my own. Actually, I keep getting stood up by guests. Well, not so much stood up. They either can't make it, or just. I was supposed to be getting Melanie Lewis in, and she's been out to LA with work, and then I haven't had the heart. I didn't want to bother her and go, so you coming? Are you coming this week? So if you're watching, Melanie, do let me know when's good for you. But yeah, Les, if you want to, you can pop on down. I'm gonna be here for quite a while. Well, usually a couple of hours. And yes, Canadian Rail fan Jenny, are you going to spill the beans on GMRC Great Model Railway Challenge? Ooh, well, you'll have to keep watching to find out. Evening to you, Divans GWR. James Carroll, good evening to you. Mark Herbert, it's Monday again. Yes, and unlike Garfield, I don't mind Mondays, because Monday is slap bang in the middle of my 3-day weekend. Oh yes, I have a 3-day weekend, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Oh, and also, don't let me forget, a big announcement as well on the Jenny Monday Club Sunday meetup. Yes, that's right, I have picked a date and double checked that the East Lancs Railway is actually running on that date, and that's the date we're going to pick. It's going to be, drum roll please, actually if I do a drum roll on this, it probably vibrates through the microphone really bad. But yeah, I think it was 22nd. Let me. Oh no, I've closed the page. Where are we? 22nd of September. Meeting at Bury Bolton Street Station at 12 midday. And the idea will be to meet. There's like a little pub on platform. Is it? I can't remember. Is it platform one or two. It's the one with the pub. Basically, if you can get alcohol, you're in the right place. Not the island platform, the other side. And what we'll do is we'll meet up there, and we'll commandeer some tables. There's some space outside as well. I think it's under a canopy, so there's plenty of room, and the seasoned smokers will be able to puff away. Unfortunately for me, that little enjoyable habit has been ground out of me by the ex-smoker that is Zoe. They're always the worst ones, aren't they? Ex-smokers. It's like, well, I managed to give up, so how dare you enjoy yourself around me? But let's have a look. What do we got? Boom, boom, boom. Declan Gleeson, hello to you. Otis JB, hi to you. Dragon Junction, hi to you. Philip Page, good evening, Jenny and all the gang. Oh yes, who's in the house? Do let us know. But of course, a lot of lurkers as well. Always great to lurk. I used to do that a lot when I was younger in chat rooms. Just sort of have it on a corner of the screen and just sort of have it scroll. It was quite pleasant. A bit of a social activity. So I suppose it's the equivalent of going out to the pub and just sort of sitting quietly in the corner and letting the conversation wash over you. Right. Philip Page, hi. He sent hi to Alan. Hi, Alan. Les Cliff had a visit from Bolton Railway Group. Yes, actually, I know that they were trying to get in touch with you. I did mean to pass that on. My fault, but I'm glad that they've got in touch. Because I went down to see them last week. It's the reason why the Jenny Monday Club last week ran from 5 o'clock BST rather than 7. And the reason behind that was so that I had the opportunity to go down and visit Bolton Model Rail Group at Bolton Trinity Street Station. They're there in the station building between platforms 4 and 5, just on the island platform there. And actually it was great. I was worried that I was waxing lyrically. Doing a lot of talking, and luckily, apparently I was interesting. So it was great fun, great to meet everybody. Great to meet a couple of you as well, who were also frequenters of the Jenny Monday Club. So yeah, it went really, really well. And hopefully as well, actually, whilst I remember, we're hopefully going to be trying to organise to do the Jenny Monday Club live on Monday from the Bolton Model Railway Group. So that'll be grand. Mark Rice, hi Jen. Great to hear you drink dark fruits. Yes, I do actually. The Strongbow dark fruits. I was introduced to that by a friend of mine. She's called Claire. And she is a staunch advocate of dark fruits. Very refreshing. It's a bit like, actually a lot nicer than I remember Snake Bite Black when I used to go out clubbing as a teenager. Colin Wykes, hello Jenny and Zoe. Brockwell Lane, how did the club visit go? Yeah, really good. Got to see the layout that they got under construction. Basically just waxed lyrical for 2 hours. It's like, oh, she loves the sound of her own voice. Nobody said that, but yeah. Les Cliff, seems you've been singing my praises to them. Yeah, but Les, everybody remembers we had Les as a guest here on the Jenny Monday Club, and we talked you through some of his modelling, showing the pictures on screen, and then I got Les to talk about the methods he used, and it went down really well. But yeah, Les is an amazing modeller, and he's very modest as well. He genuinely is very modest. He doesn't like to blow his own trumpet, but believe me, he has one hell of a trumpet to blow. Oh, actually, scratch that. That sounded really rude. But yeah, Les, if you want to, come on down, join me on the Monday Club. It'd be grand. Canadian Rail fan. It is cold in Vancouver. Insert your swear word of choice in there. I bet it is. It's certainly chilled down here as well. 57305 Northern Princess. Hi Jenny, just travelling on board Virgin Train Super Voyager number 221101. The 101 Squadron to crew. I will catch up on the video when I get home. No problem, always welcome to see you. And that also reminds me as well to let you know that the Jenny Monday Club videos stay up on YouTube. Once the live stream is finished, they go up and stay up as an ordinary video. So you can revisit some of the old classics. You can go right back to the beginning when it actually was Shed Chat and I was in a shed. The shed's still there, but the model railway isn't. Things move on. Mark Rice. Hi, nice to see lots of railways on TV at the moment. And yes, that takes us nicely back to our topic for today, which is Great Model Railway Challenge Special. And it's the dates for that have finally been announced. And I'll be honest with you, I've just completely forgotten what date. Sometime mid-September. Please, somebody post up the actual dates. I know that all that I am allowed to tell you thus far is that I think it's the second episode. You will see myself and Les Cliff, amongst others, feature in that. And you'll be able to finally see where I kind of got my nickname, the Queen of Speed Modelling. I say my nickname, I kind of just went, I am the Queen of Speed Modelling, and nobody challenged me. So I claim this nickname for me. But yeah, I hear that there's a lot of other stuff going on as well. In fact, I have been approached, and don't take this like, oh, she's the guru that they all go to. But I have been approached by a TV company, along with actually the rest of D Team from Biggest Little Railway. Our embedded runner. It's basically you'd have seen them on screen, perhaps in passing, as if they were one of the contributors, but actually they weren't. There was two people who worked for the TV company, and they were what's known as embedded runners. Lovely lady called Claire Morrison. You've probably seen her name in the credits, but they kind of got edited out a little bit, which I thought was a little bit shady, given how much work that they put in as well. And they were like our liaison point between us and this ethereal production crew. But she approached the group. Yes, we do still have a WhatsApp group just for Team D. It's the one that we used on location, but it still runs, and very occasionally people post stuff in it. She's working on a program, a documentary style program about Dr. Beeching. So she was looking for anybody who was knowledgeable in certain areas to become involved. Les Cliff, anyway, I'll be going to see them in a few weeks. Yeah, well worth it actually. It's also where our heat layout will ultimately be ending up. It won't be for a little while. They're still refurbishing the room it's going into, but the Great Model Railway Challenge layout that Team Rail Riders, which included myself and Les Cliff, the one that we built, it does survive. It's currently in storage in Hatton's warehouse. I've probably told you that over and over again, but it will hit the big time and be on much more public display. The Bolton Model Railway Group, hopefully in a few months' time. It's also, I believe, going to Alexandra Palace Model Railway Show. So it was the Festival of Railway Modelling. So you'll be able to see it there in the flesh, ask questions. There'll be a big chunk of the team hopefully going as well. Les Cliff, in relation to our GMRC layer and few. Oh, thank you. And merchandise is available. That was a slick link, wasn't it? And oh my word, we were just talking about this Strongbow dark fruits. And
would you like some jellied babies?
I'll be honest, I'm still.
Other confectionery is available.
Yeah, but no, take them away because. Don't leave them with me. I'll just scoff them, and I'm gonna get fat. I need to exercise. I need to take up I've been defeated by a bag.
I'll show you how to open these.
Yes, I have staff for opening these. What? What witchcraft is this? I just have the one bag. Right. Let's have a look. Canadian rail oh no, this is I'm sorry to hear this. My son's railway room was broken into, 20 locos taken. My heart goes out to you. Because a lot of people may or may not be aware. I was robbed probably about 5-6 years ago now. They broke into my shed and they nicked 2 of my stock boxes and a whole load of my locomotives as well. And luckily I got them back. And a top tip for you, get a list out there of all the things that have been stolen and any distinguishing features as well. So, for example, in my case, there was one of the locomotives had clearly been damaged by these ham-fisted suckers of male anatomy, who because there was part of the buffer beam of a Hornby L1 tank just there. They'd obviously dropped it, smashed it, nicked it, but left the buffer beam behind. And it was little things like that. You describe, well, obviously the model, if it reappears, it's going to have this left side buffer cracked off, because I've still got that. And then there was things like I still had the front bogie had been broken off my City of London, Backman City of London. So that was described. If it turns up, it will probably be missing its front bogie. And then I was also describing things like custom weathering is another one. If it's been custom weathered or renumbered, get that in the description and then circulate that to anywhere that these items might be flogged on. Be it pawn shops, fence your stolen goods shops, eBay as well. That's another popular one. Mine were actually found because they were recognised as they were being listed on eBay because of the description, and that is very important. And in many ways, the first few days is the most important period to get that information out there, circulate it to model railway clubs, get people on the lookout. Right, Les Cliff, where we will be on the 20th of September. Hold on. What's going? Oh, sorry, it's just jumped. It's jumped a huge amount. Ooh. Where did I get up to? Sorry. Les Cliff. They're between platforms 4 and 5. Not Hogwarts, more Hogweed. Ian Hilpus. If it's a drink, people will find it. Les Cliff. Looking forward to seeing them and giving some talks about the GMRC and scenic skills. Yes. Les Cliff is the guru of scenic work. He just makes it look so effortless and easy. I learned so much from Les whilst we were filming Great Model Railway Challenge, and hopefully some of that will come across on the screen as well. So well worth it. If you can get down when Les is doing some talks on scenic methods and skills, then it is well worth doing that. Certainly I hope Bolton Model Railway Group, if they're not already done so, when they do get around to that, they need to advertise. So Les Cliff, he is a legend of scenery. Good evening to you, James Petts. Fair Olin, hello to you. Leslie Gilpin, 22nd, just be back from trip to Canada and USA, so won't be able to attend at Bury, but maybe next time. Bit of a trip from South Wales when jet lagged. That is quite a distance, but don't worry, I fully understand if not everybody comes. There's like nearly 8,000 subscribers, so I don't think the East Lancs Railway would be able to cope if everybody turned up. Philip Page, Barry Davies has promised me a schools class if I just pay postage. That's pretty good actually. If that's the Hornby Super Detail one, they are a great locomotive. I think it's number 903 in Southern Monsell Olive Green. Very easy to sound fit as well. Whilst they don't produce a specific schools class sound chip, I did improvise. I think I put an S15 sound chip in that. Ham Shackleton, good evening to you. Mark Wilson, evening Madoc from Leicester. Philip Page, still waiting to hear from him as to how to pay. Oh, sorry. Sorry, a little conversation going on there. James Petts, if Led doesn't like to blow his own trumpet, whose trumpet does he like to blow? I think he's got a rental or something. Dragon Junction, well, Sam's train well upset him bad, but his wife's not well. She's in hospital. Oh, tell me more. Philip Page, I was at Corus and McKinleth last weekend. Les Cliff, I will go either the Monday after the first show or after we have been seen. I would suggest Les actually go just after our episode is broadcast, because then people will really know who you are and be impressed. Why is Sam's trains well upset? How did he upset him? I saw he withdrew his video about being upset. Right. One of the things about YouTube is, and this is advised not specifically to Sam Trains. I wasn't aware of a video about being upset. Sorry to hear that, Sam, if you're watching. But certainly, sometimes there's things you've just really got to keep private. In this mass media age, sometimes it's very easy to share too much, be it on the Book of Face or the Tube of Views. What's the other one? Not facepalm. Insta scam or whatever it is. But sometimes it's easy to share too much, and they always say keyboards should be fitted with breathalyzers to stop you from posting when you're drunk. And also, really, when you're really upset, sometimes it's not the best thing to immediately post something when the emotions are still raw. Les Cliff, we'll be on the 20th. Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. Ooh, the lowdown on the unspoken wink wink. Flymo Chairman 1. James Pets, you need a crown if you were the queen of speed modelling. Who's queen? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll make one out of static grass. James Petson, and possibly your picture on stamps. Working on that for a micronation. There is a micronation. It's called Genitopia. It's in the works. It's developing. But Weir Yard, in the loft room, the entire loft room has become a micronation. You may have heard of Sealand, which is on an old fort.
Oh, I haven't got a crown for you, but that's the next best thing.
Apparently this is my crown now. I don't suit hats, it has to be said. So I was trying to get a jaunty angle there, but it doesn't really work. I kind of look like I should be in the oil business. Leslie Gilping, it's been hard to establish when GMRC is going to be on via Google. Yeah, they haven't really. I'm just looking at my image there, and there's like in the corner. And it looks like this is perched on the top of my head. I have a very big head, and nothing shows that off more than a hat. But yeah, the dates are being circulated. So I think it starts on the 13th, according to Les. And they're basically weekly thereafter on a Friday. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they did send me that. Friday the 13th, and then every Friday after that. So put those dates in your diary. Mark Wilson, I think eventually they should do a model railway country challenge like Germany versus Japan versus America versus England, etc. We talked about that for Biggest Little Railway for Series 2, but unfortunately that never happened. Enia Oriti, hi to you. Dragon Junction, Sam's Trains, look at model trains versus swimming pool. Yeah, I saw that. It's a bit clickbaity after that. I never watched it. But electricity and water don't mix. So I don't know. Was he getting a lot of grief from trolls? That's what normally happens when you do things out of the order. It's like, oh, you're not taking railway modelling serious. Philip Page, I saw that. I didn't see it. So, oh, interesting. Dragon Junction, at the end of the day, has got a duty of care to the public. So what actually happened? Did YouTube pull a video? James Pets, aha, I shall see it next year. The L4, right, London Festival of Railway Modelling. Yes, hopefully we shall be there, and it will be grand. Believe me, the layout that we built for our heat is very impressive, even if I say so myself. Well, after we finished, I remember looking at it and going, my God, we did well for 2.5 days. Dragon Junction, oh, sorry, I've just read that. Chorley Junction, has anyone tried to misrepresent something that you were trying to buy on sites like eBay? Yeah, I've seen stuff misrepresented a lot. It's one of those things. Canadian Rail fan, Jenny, we will never know if you're at Worley Model Railway Exhibition. I will probably be there as a visitor, but I don't have an exhibition layout there. They were a bit picky about GMRC layouts, so only I believe the winners are there and possibly one other. So there. James Pets, your own personal bag opener, splendid. Yeah, gosh, I am well behind on the comments. Jelly babies for the win, Steve Durrell. Certainly, yeah. True, Philip H. True. NEF Arita, did you like the 4F? Which 4F? Was that the Drummond 700? Was that 4F? Or, I can't remember. No, it was a 3F. Leslie Dickinson, hello to you. Mark Wilson, are you visiting the Diesel Gala at the Great Central Railway this weekend? They have D821 visiting. I'm afraid not. Actually, do I suit this hat? I'll probably get to the comments about this suit. But my crown, we're done with that. I don't really like hats. Flymo Chairman 1, oh God, a full audit. I've set mine up for filling in a bit to go yet. Not because of volume. I should add full. I feel like I'm missing some of the comments. Canadian Rail fan, do not worry, Jenny. I caught them in our drive. Police. Ah, right. Oh, so you got them. You got the perpetrators. Yeah, cops. where all suspects are guilty. Period. Otherwise they wouldn't be suspect, would they? So well done to you. Canadian Refer on duty as well. Boom! Oh no, I get told off when I say that. Flymo Chairman 1, Hogweed and Budlier. Funnily enough, actually, scourge of the railways, but certainly great fun to model. And do add actually something to a model. It's one of those weird things that something that is despised in real life can be loved in model form. Excuse me. Richard Hall, good evening, Jenny. I'm looking forward to GMRC. What's your opinion of the Dapol Class 73? I bought 73109 in Network South East today from Bureau Valley Models. Recommended. Actually, that is a livery that I wouldn't mind. Now, I've got, I can't remember its exact number, but I do have one of the original release in a small logo rail blue. Dapol 73s, and there was a lot of issue at the time, people moaning about the shade of yellow for the yellow ends and even the shade of the blue. But in terms of a model, it is a stellar performer. It is very well detailed. My only gripe is that the roof grills have a habit of falling out and I've had to super glue them back in. But in terms of getting the body off to DCC chip it, easy peasy. There is plenty of space for a sound chip. It has been designed for a big speaker in there. So, I think it's a really good model. It got a lot of bad press, but I think not deservedly so. Flymo Chairman 1, I never said hello. Well, hello to you. Model Buzzers 84, good evening, Jenny. Late to the party, just finishing work. We'll need to catch up tonight while in the bath. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's always great for people to come and go as you please. Don't worry. Flymo Chairman 1, hello, Jenny and folks. Excuse me. Oh, very gassy, that dark fruits. Hello to you. Oh, your mug came in whole and without blemish, by the way. I am so glad. So you've got one of these. What colour did you pick? This is a blue one. We've got two here. I think the other one's green. But there's quite a choice of colours actually, I noticed. So I'm just curious what colours people pick. My favourite colour is green, followed by blue and purple. Enia Orita, your City of London is Bachmann, right? Yes, right. City of London. I've got a Hornby 00 City of London, which is actually a sort of city/Duchess class. But also the Great Western had a city class loco, the same as City of Truro, but one of them was named and numbered City of London. So there are multiple City of Londons. I don't know whether any other railway companies had a City of London, but certainly Great Western and LMS both had a City of London loco. But the one that the front bogie got ripped off was a Bachmann one. Dragon Junction, Jen, you need to see this video. Is this the Sam's Trains one? James Hardy, Jenny, the locomotives you saw in the workshop in bits at these lengths is an LMS IVAT, not BR Standard 2, just to let you know. Yeah, so it's an IVAT 260. I thought it's a 2MT. So it's a precursor to the Standard Class 2. But yeah, it's a 260 tender IVAT tank. Iron Hilpers, Sam is great. He's probably done a lot for the hobby, but I think some of his videos can be a little bit gimmicky, but that again, it gets the views, gets people noticing them. Maybe that's what you need. A lot of people said that Biggest Little Railway was like, it's not taking things seriously, but it did a lot for the hobby, as did Great Model Railway Challenge. So it swings and roundabouts. Not my cup of tea. The idea of putting a nice expensive locomotive in a paddling pool and running it, it probably didn't come to any harm, I'll be honest with you, if you dry it out properly afterwards. I can remember as a kid washing my Hornby Pocket Rocket. I had a Desmond in like a maroon colour, and as a little kid I washed it in the sink with soap and water inside and out, and it was none the worse for it. Just make sure it's well dried out, and oil it up as well beforehand probably, so it doesn't, not that you'd want to do that, but hey. Dragon Junction, the video is called Electric Model Train versus Swimming Pool. So what's B? Is it just trolls then that have been bugging him? Philip Page, I've posted vids made at the East Lancs. Yeah, it's very, very photogenic is the East Lancs. Ham Shackleton, that's it, Jen just admitted she's a big head. Yeah. When I was in cadets, my cadet hat was size 60, 60 or 61. I don't know how that equates into like genuine imperial hat sizes. But I've still got the cap, actually. It's not that I didn't give it back. I didn't nick my uniform. I just reacquired it when I went back onto staff. And by then, what had happened was they changed all the uniforms. There's sort of 10 years in between nearly. And the old Wren style uniforms were just in boxes in the uniform store, not used anymore because all the girls were in square rig by this point. And then when they were having a clear out, skipping this stuff, I acquired about 6 or 7 Wren's uniforms, including my original uniform. And at the time that I acquired it, I could actually still fit into it. But sadly, pies and beer have been unkind, and whilst I do still have that uniform, I can't fasten it. I can just about get the jacket on, but it's doesn't fasten properly. Flymo Chairman 1, reading back on the comments, Canadian Rail fan, sorry to hear that. Do you have the same chance of retrieving your son's locos? It keeps jumping. Oh, Faya Olin, need to go to work. We'll watch the full video later. Cheers. Bye bye. Okay, no problem. Greetings from the past. Because now you're watching this and you're going, that's a bit weird. I'm being talked at, but I'm watching this on the rerun. Ooh, yes. Greetings from the past. Reese 50035. Hi Jenny, do you own a G2A steam locomotive? Yes, I do actually. I've got the one. Is it 49395 or something? It's the model that Bachmann did of, I think it was the first release, which is the same identity as the preserved one. So yeah, and I love that model. I've actually sound fitted mine. Philip Page, he ran a railway underwater. Yeah, I've seen that video in the list, but just not watched it. Warrington Train Spotter 2778. Good evening, Jenny. Hope you're well. Did you enjoy your time at Bolton Model Club? I certainly did, actually. Waxing lyrically. I just hope I didn't bore people, because I was very conscious that I whittled on for pretty much the same sort of length of time that I do on the live stream. Flymo Chairman 1, nice round of rise. Is that the 264 tank getting retired for overhaul? No, the 260 Iva is a different locomotive. It is getting an overhaul, but the 264 tank, whilst I remember that as a kid being restored the first time there along with an 8F, that wasn't there at the time. James Hardy, is Sam in trouble? Not quite ascertained that yet, whether he's being bugged by trolls or otherwise. Phil Baker, hello, first time ever catching you live. Well, welcome to you. How are you? Love the videos. Well, thank you very much. I'm very well, thank you. A bit full. I had to guzzle my tea because it took a bit longer to cook than planned. So I had sort of like nom, 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 and then run upstairs and guzzling sausage and chips is not for the faint-hearted. Leslie Gilpin, Budley on the line side with little black plastic bags for flowers. Oh, the scourge of the railways. Yeah, but like I said, in model form, sometimes it just adds that little touch of realism. Canadian Rail fan, Jenny, did you do diesel or steam on your GMRC layout? Am I allowed to reveal this? I don't know. Les, provide guidance. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm far too far back down the comments. So, we did diesel. Did we run any steam on it? No, diesel. Did diesel. But we supplied our own locomotives for that. And they were all sound fitted as well. We went DCC for that layout and they're all sound fitted. But it was all our own rolling stock. We didn't actually use any of the budget to get rolling stock, which you'd have thought was a bit of an oversight because I know in Series 1 there was a lot of teams who troughed a bit, but we didn't. Ham Shackleton, nothing wrong with Budleia in your garden. It brings all the insects in and they feed the birds. You just got to cut it hard back every year to keep it under control. It's a bit like mint. Mint grows like a weed in your garden. Laurels as well. You really got to keep on top of them. And they're good. And what else have I got that grows like a weed? Conifers as well. Leylandii, I hate them. We haven't got a Leylandii, but we've got some kind of conifer. We inherited it from the previous owners. There used to be 5, now there's 1, and I really want to get rid of that one. Fig tree as well, that grows like a weed. But you just got to keep on top of them. Excuse me. Javan love the chapeau, like Chateau Lafitte. Fly whichever one. I picked black. Oh right, black. Fair enough. James Pets, your favourite colour is green. You have good taste. Why? Why? Thank you. I just always liked green. Which is pretty good in railway modelling because essentially, green and black are the predominant colours if you are interested in the steam period, and like later on, I like blue as well. So the Tops blue period, the rail blue era, that kind of works out for me as well. But yeah, it's funny actually because they say like, well, you know, you got a green car because you know people tend to like things in their favourite colour. But no, I've got a silver car because I'm bone idle, and silver is probably the best colour for not really showing the dirt on a car. It's amazing. Seriously, try it. I once didn't wash my car for 2 years solid, and it just, instead of looking dirty, it just looked more and more of a matte finish. Rob Evans, hi gorgeous XX. The little voice in my head shouts that because you typed it all in capitals. Well, thank you. Phil Baker, we have City. We have City, good. James Hardy, Jenny, have you got the new Hornby Peckett 060? The one that I ordered is the one that's not come out yet, the NCB Blue. So I still do not have it, which is I want to get it and review it. Flymo Chamber one, or as near Blackberry Red as I could get it. The choice was so tempting. Yeah, well, you can have more than one. I do. I got 2. James Hardy, no, it's a tender. Ooh, oh, it keeps flicking. So I've at 2MT, right? Oh, Phil Baker. Oh, the Class 66. Oh, Phil Baker, City of London, Ontario, Canada. CP Rail, of course. Yeah, there's London, Ontario. Just as is like Birmingham, Alabama. Washington, Boston, all of these places, they're in the UK originally. Melbourne as well, I believe, is named after a village in Derbyshire. Enya Orita, sorry, I'm back. Welcome back. James Hardy, Sam does do some crazy things. He does a bit. OORail.com. Looks like Sam's Trains forgot his audience was mostly kids who might not understand that electricity and water is a dangerous combination. Looks like a lot of parents complained. Yes, and YouTube, my experience of YouTube is that it's very difficult to argue your case. Even when you're absolutely right, they don't tend to listen to you. So, yeah, oh, that's a shame. So, has he had a good repute strike or so? I forget what they call it. James Carrolls, Jenny, I still cannot connect with the Jenny Monday Club mug on Teespring. So how and where? Right. I don't have access to the link. Can somebody who knows the link, Flyman Chairman 1, would you mind awfully, could you post the link up in the chat room? It should come up for the Teespring account because I'm not able to do that at the moment from where I am. But it should just work. I know a few people have managed to get some stuff, so it should work. I don't know why it would be stopping him. Stuart Muir, I can't wait to get my sticky pills on my Daypol limited edition class 50007. So Edward Elgar and GWR 150 green, and I'm looking forward to the Great Model Railway Challenge. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, that is a very eye-catching livery. Flywatch M1, this far in the past, by the time you get to this, I'm sorry, I'm reading these as fast as I can, but I go off on a tangent. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, OORail.com, the video was a cool science experiment, but lacked any warnings for the kids not to replicate, nor did he explain the dangers of water plus electricity, so I could see why there was some backlash. So did they complain or just troll him in the comments? Ian Hilpest, the best visual steam motor vehicle has to be GWR 93. Fair enough. Warrington Transporter 2778. Boom! Philip Page. Sam was not upset, Jenny. Barry Davies was upset with Sam's video. Right, so who's Barry Davies? If you don't mind me asking. I like transport. Hi to you. Ben Davis. Hi, everyone. Oh, it keeps jumping. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone did have a great weekend. Hope you had one too, Jennifer. Yes, certainly did. Viaduct Central Model Railway. Hi to you. Any or to Jennifer? Do you like DCC or DC? I like both actually. I've just recently gone DCC, but it doesn't mean I don't dislike DC. So I'm very much like a toe in both water. Moving towards the DCC sound kind of sold it for me. But yeah, DC's fine. Whatever works for you. Viaduct Central Model Railway want to bum me up again. Bum you up. I think there's places like darkened alleys you can go for that. No, just joking with you. Okay, Viaduct Central Model Railway. Everybody go and subscribe to his channel. I'm not going to make a habit of this. So you get one mention to go and sub to Viaduct Central Model Railway. Do let me know what it's up to. I'm always curious. Dave Don, Jen, you going to stay sober tonight? No. All right. I like transport. I thought Barry Davies was too harsh and not very sensible with his comment. Who is Barry Davies? Somebody tell me. Canadian Railfan, Jen, how much Jablite did you use on the GMRC layout? More than one pack. Let's just say the entire additional budget went pretty much on Jablite for that layout. Philip Page, I like Transport, he withdrew the video before I got to... Oh, so it's not up anymore. Aaron Izzard, hey up Jenny, how are you this evening? Just finished a dinner of homemade pasta and spaghetti carbonara. Sorry, I'm going into my Rod Gilbert impression. Oh, how's the tog rating of the duvet? We took it down, didn't really. I've been seeing it in the recommended list. So at one point, YouTube was recommending it. It had about 16,000 views. Matty Rednell, I'm changing my Mark 1 coaches into West Coast Railways livery. Brilliant. It is actually pretty, quite a nice livery. Philip Page, I like transport. We'll have a look at Sam's new video and yours too. Grand. Oh, excuse me, burp. There's a lot of gas in this. Let's top back up with the gas. When I get drunk enough, I can actually burp and use the burp to say things. It's a really good trick. Mark Rice, do you see the Oxford Rail box set? World War One gun and train set is a great price. Yeah, I have the first release of that. I did a full box opening and review, so don't forget to check it out. I was there first. And also you might see that on... I used it as a test train on Great Model Railway Challenge because, top tip here, your test train doesn't need to, don't run what you're normally going to run. Find the most potentially awkward and unreliable locomotive and rolling stock and use that as your test train. Because if that runs, everything else will. So there we go. So a little bit of a tease. Our layout did actually run without any issues. James Hardy, the video of the train in the pool has been blocked. Interesting. Ian Hilper, Sam's Trains in general good, but I did not like the underwater thing, but I'm waiting for the roller coaster railway with a loop. Sometimes he does pop in. I don't know if he's here. Maybe keep him quiet if he is, because he doesn't want the trolls to flame him. I don't know how many people are watching at the moment. Let's have a look. I am curious. How many people are watching? I'm not even sure whether I can... How do I... come on. Show me how many people are watching. All right. Oops. 74. So we got 74 people in the chat room. So... not everybody's talking, but... it's Dragon Junction. Sam's vid is still there. Fair enough. We're talking a lot about Sam's Trains. It's like, the competition. Actually, no, not really competition. I like to think I do lots of how-to videos and and railway modelling. There we go. It's been age restricted. Yeah, that makes sense. Warrington Train Spotter 278. Has there been a date set up for the meetup with everyone at East Lancs? Yes, 22nd of September. I'm going to type that. Station. Spread the word. So hopefully that will have turned up now. Let's have a look. Canadian rail fan Jenny, it is 5:30 here. Work starts at 9 a.m. Drink a lot of coffee. Yeah, obviously time zones around the world. Funnily enough, earlier on today, I was in I want to say Skype meeting. It wasn't Skype. We don't use Skype because it's far less reliable. We use FaceTime. So I was FaceTiming Bruno Greif, who you might know as being the 1/4 of the Israeli pop group Terry Poison when they were still going. He's a big music producer, and here's a little shoe-in for Great Model Railway Challenge. He's also working with Knickerbocker Glory, the TV company behind GMRC, doing music. So, boom! There we are. It's a small world in TV and media. Known him for a few years now, and known of him for about 10-15. It's really weird to actually be working extensively with somebody who you grew up really loving their music and adoring their albums. So it's very strange now that I am collaborating with Bruno Greif to release an album and talk about ticking off the bucket list. It's just amazing. I'm going to get to put my name on an album as like a co-artist, and it makes sense when you know the full story. But I don't play I can't play. I just about play three sides of a triangle, and just about hold the most simple of simple rhythms on a drum kit. Although I did do the music for a film. There's a film called The Locket you can find on YouTube. I did the music. I'm not sure how. I think it was a few of these, and I was just noodling about with a synthesizer, and somebody recorded it and went, yeah, we used that. But yes. Essentially, yeah. Where was I? Oh, yes. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. So, oh yeah, time zones. That was it. That was right. There's a point. We're circling slowly around the point, just sort of getting a closer and closer iteration until, boing, there we are. The point. Yeah. So the time zone. We had to work out, the time to be able to be there at the right time, because he's in Haifa, in Israel. And I'm obviously in the UK. The UK is in British summertime, which is GMT +1. And it would appear that he's in GMT +4. He did say, it said it was 4 o'clock where he was. No, actually, no. So, yeah, it was 4 o'clock where he was, and it was 2. Was it 2? I can't remember what time. It was either 2 or 3 o'clock. We ended up, we got the right time. But whenever we arrange to Skype each other. I've never actually met him in person because he obviously flits around the world. And when he does come to the UK, he goes to London, which I'm not. I'm at the other end of the country. Essentially, we talk about times as just being GMT because it was the easiest way of working out what time to meet up. But anyway, I think there was a point there somewhere. Boom, boom, boom. What's just happened? Where it just jumped. I hate it when it does that. Mark Wilson, putting a train in a paddling pool is really not a good idea for the younger generation. We may find expensive locos in baths and ponds, plus electricity and water. It's just a bit dangerous. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The train itself is only running on 12 volts DC, which actually isn't really all that harmful at all. But the controller supplying that 12 volts DC is your connection to the party line, which is the wall socket, and the the 240 volts and quite a lot, 13 amps plus. So yeah, you've got to be ever so careful. But as I said before, as a small child, I did decide, for whatever reason, to wash my Hornby Desmond 040 pocket rocket, and it was none the worse for it. But yeah, I can imagine people finding that little Jimmy has borrowed their expensive, expensive loco. And what you've got to remember as well is that not all locos now are just sort of basic DC locos. You can imagine somebody puts your Lego Man Biffo all singing, all dancing DCC up the wazoo locomotive in the bath. It might dry out and the motor still work, but I don't think your DCC will be so clever. I like transport. Thanks for the update there. Oh gosh, it's going up. 73, 74, 76, 77. Boom! Bluegrass rail fan. I understand testing the limits of stuff, but putting electric toys in water just seems like an all-round bad idea. I'll be honest, it's... You get all sorts of videos on YouTube. There's people who, like Backyard Scientist, does all sorts of weird stuff. It's a bit interesting, but, I suppose on a channel that doesn't just do that kind of science experiment things, you've got to be very careful. Carol Taylor, hi Jenny, a bit late again. Don't worry, you can catch up. Everything goes up live on YouTube afterwards, so you can catch up everything you missed. Brockwell Lane, park in Tesco's. Yeah, that's where I park, actually, to be honest with you. You can park at the station, but it costs money, and it's first come, first served. So if it's a busy day, you might not get a space there. There is also car parking at the leisure centre on a Sunday. You might be all right there, but again, you have to pay for it. Or you can park at Tesco's, and I believe you get 3 hours free parking. So if I don't get dropped off, I maybe sucker my dad into dropping me off. I don't live with my dad. I just thought I'd put that out there. He lives up the road, but he might give me a lift, you see, so that I can drink. But yeah, you get 3 hours free parking over at the Tesco at the retail park. So yeah, grand. I like transport. All rail YouTubers are not competitors; they're colleagues. Yeah, too right. As I said before, it's like, we're not really competitors. But as a rule, we don't like to talk extensively about other YouTubers. Mostly because, like, those in glass houses shouldn't cavort naked on a piano. Gary Dykes, I am watching. Brilliant. Welcome aboard. Good to have you on board. I like transport. Sorry, I won't make the meetup. Don't worry about it. It's not an issue. We will be having more, but it'll be the Jenny Sunday Club. The Jenny Monday Club Big Sunday meetup. Philip Page, well said. Iwan. Ian? It's come out as Iwan. Ben Davis, hi Jennifer. Do you know why Great Model Railway Challenge is going to be on TV? Because they filmed it and because it's successful. It gets really, really good. Really good ratings last time, above average for that time slot. And, I'm just glad that model railways are getting a decent coverage, is what the hobby needs. And when you go to shows, when you talk to people at clubs and at exhibitions, what you find, and also the retailers as well, it's rekindled an interest, which is really what it's the shot in the arm that the hobby needs. Ian Hilpers, Sam is a very nice guy. Maybe his water thing could be over the maybe too much electricity and water do not mix. Yeah, I totally agree with you. He always seemed a nice guy when I talked to him. Bluegrass rail fan, I'd say friendly rivalry, not really competitor. Yeah, too right. Leslie Gilpin, next week I'll be in Ottawa, so can't call in. Hey, I'm still on the first. God, so I'm gonna have to chug.
You're not gonna have to chug. It's there when it's ready for you.
Yeah, whatever. James Hardy, nowhere, all friends, no rivalry at all. Yeah, and there's YouTube meetups as well. I'd love to go to them, but people don't tell me about them until it's too late. Also, I work on Saturdays, which makes things really difficult as well. Zoe, that's my accoutrements of office. She's going to prod me with a big green foam finger. Here it comes. Come on. There's the big green foam finger. She went up into the loft to get it. Right. Anywho, I'm just going to try and ignore it. It's really difficult. Captain Canadian Rail fan, there was a picture on BRM website of GMRC of a team with lab coats. I believe they're in Heat 1, so they will be in the show that you will see on the 13th of September. I can't remember what they're called, but if you go on RM Web, I think the team captain of that team has been posting a few bits and pieces, and so it'll tell you what they're called. I can't remember what they're called. It's jumped again. Hey, where are you? Oh, it's just jumped. So I'm just trying to find back to where I was. James Hardy, Jenny, are you getting the big boy model? I'd love to, but it's really expensive. I'll be honest with you. Of course, if somebody wanted to buy me as a present, no. No, I'd never ask for that. And even close relatives and family are like, well, what do you want for Christmas? It'd be too much. But yeah, certainly it's one that if I did American outline modelling, then yeah, boom, that would be on the radar. Ben Davis, could I come to this on 22nd of December meetup from 12 midday at Bury Bolton Street Station? Do you need to get tickets for this? There's no tickets for the meetup, and as far as I understand it, or at least whenever I go to Bury Bolton Street Station, you can get into that pub without needing a ticket. If that does change, you can get a platform ticket, which I believe is just a couple of quid. And it won't let you ride the trains, but it'll let you into there. I mean, obviously, you can get a ticket and ride the trains if you want. That's grand. But certainly, there's no specific tickets. The Jenny Monday Club Big Sunday Meetup is a sort of an informal event. It's not endorsed by the East Lancs Railway in any way, although I've always been made very, very welcome by the people of the East Lancs. Whenever I've been over there, and you probably saw the Saturday video, I got a tour of the little restoration shed that is right down at the end of Bury Bolton Street Station, which was very, very kind of them. They didn't have to do that, but they did, which was grand. Leslie Gilpin, hate age restrictions on YouTube, can't see some rail videos in Starbucks, IKEA, etc. Yeah, it's a bit sort of like namby-pamby. You can understand turning it on if you've got kids in the house, but you know, it being foisted upon you, although from their point of view, I guess it's like, well, they don't know who's logging in. Mark Wilson, a bonfire special in November. It's a firework-powered loco. Yeah, Wile E. Coyote, Acme Industries. I've seen a propeller, like a blow-along thing. It's actually on one of my videos from when I went to the Peterborough exhibition of garden model railways. A firework-powered loco, you would have to do that outdoors, seriously. And even then, a bit gimmicky, but you know, each to their own. Oh, there we are, Bluegrass Rail fan. Firework powered loco is Wile E. Coyote the engineer. Yeah, too right. Canadian Rail fan Jenny, when is live streams in the loft? Still working on it. The computer that is up there is state of the art. It is an Intel P4 running at 2.66 megahertz, and it only has 1.5 gig of RAM, and it runs Windows XP Pro, and that means it is chug. I need to get a newer, faster computer, and I need to get all the cameras set up. It is coming, but it's on the list. But I keep spending money. It happens on DCC chips, so yeah. Reese 50035, hi Jennifer, what do you make of the Vitrains Class 37? I hear a lot of people say good things about them, and certainly they're available at a pretty good price as well. Phil Baker, I'm thinking of starting an HO layout channel. I love the way you've done yours and I enjoy your videos. Any suggestion? Film the videos that you enjoy. Don't feel that you have to film videos specifically like to get views, to get subs. Film stuff that enthuses you, and the enjoyment of making videos will last, and your enthusiasm will hopefully come across in the videos. That's the best thing I can say to you. I didn't start out thinking, I want a really big YouTube channel. I was just sharing videos of things I was doing, and it just kind of built from there. So, yeah, always keep it what you want to do, but regular content as well. And sometimes, you know, I think as well, people really like to get behind this sense that it's their layout as well. You know, they have your layout is also their layout by proxy. So they kind of, you build up this rapport with your viewership, and yeah, that can be quite a powerful thing as well, because a lot of people who don't necessarily have the space or the money for a big model railway, so they enjoy following yours very closely. And it's almost like they sort of adopt your layout. So that's always an important consideration to bear in mind as well. Game Hammer Classic Gaming. Oh gosh, I am well behind on these comments. You're commenting far faster than I can read. It's alright, Zoe, you've already brought... So, hello from the future. You've already brought me one. James Pets, I can't recall whether I've asked this before. Do you have any plans to have a go at computer automation for your layout? If I could get, I think there is software available that you run through a PC and it has like a connection to your DCC system to control things. I could see me dabbling in that, but not going over to full control. And also, all of my point work is still analog. It's still fired from CDUs, and there's just lots of little switches, and it runs off the 16-volt AC line powering that CDU. So changing the points would be very difficult. Philip Page, I get the train to Manchester Victoria, then the tram to Bury. Yeah, it's a couple of minutes walk from Bury tram station is the East Lancs Railway. So it's actually really easy to get to on public transport. And I think, I don't know the precise numbers. It's something like the number 470, or the 471. It sort of shuttles between Bolton and Rochdale via, via Bury. So if you're coming from Rochdale or you're coming from Bolton, there's also those direct bus services going on as well. So if anybody's just joined us, September the 22nd at 12 midday, the plan is to do the Jenny Monday Club Big Sunday meetup at the East Lancs Railway, Bury, Bolton Street Station in the pub, because a pub is always a great place to meet. And if we swamp the place, what we may do is move on to the Weatherspoons, which is the Sir Robert Peel, if we need a bit more space, and also we can get booze and food in there. Warrington Train Spotter 2778, is it any different in have a model railway in the garden with rain and snow? There are YouTube videos with people running trains in the rain and snow. Yeah, I had a viral video of running double O gauge trains in the snow. I described them as it was like watching a ferret go up a northerner's trouser leg. It just went straight. It was the right kind of snow because it was quite light and airy. If it was wet and clumpy, it wouldn't have done that. Nobody went, oh, you're mixing electricity and water. But, my garden railway was built specifically to do that. It wasn't in a paddling pool. Oh, Sam, what were you thinking? Bluegrass rail fan, garden stuff is usually waterproof, though, if I remember. Yeah, because your power supply's indoors. It's just jumped again. Boom, boom, boo. Oh, Philip Page, only need a platform ticket when a gala on. Okay, thanks for clarifying that. That's brilliant. Warrington Train Spotter 2778. For the meetup, are people okay with kids? I may have to bring my daughter. She's 11 years old. No, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. If you need to bring kids with you, that's fine. More the merrier. Certainly, Bury Bolton Street Station is a great place for kids because there's shops there that sell trains. And also you can ride on the trains. There's a lot to do. So, that's grand. Viaduct Central Model Railway. Hi, I'm back. Hi to you. Shade 1975200. Kenny Everett moment with the finger. I can't remember what I did then. Green. I've missed a huge chunk of. Let's have a look. Philip Page. Oh, Ewan. Pronounced it. Met him in Wales last week. Grand. James Hardy, too right, Jen. It's what the hobbies need. Yeah, it's about the GMRC, the shot in the arms. Fly Mode Chairman 1, ha, green fingers. Ben Davis, thanks for the information and hope your team win. I'd love to chat about the entire series. I know that's the title, but a bit clickbaity, naughty me, but what the hell. But I can't. I simply can't. I've signed a non-disclosure agreement. I think all the teams were invited to the final as well. Some went, some didn't. I did go to the final. I was there along with a lot of the other teams because they like to get all the people from through the series back in. So a lot of the teams were there in the audience at the final. So we do know who won it, but we can't tell you anything. It's really good actually, and the standard of the models is amazing. As far as I'm aware, nobody failed to produce a model layout that looked finished. There was none of the Missenden modelers. Oh look, that screw's on display. None of that. It was the standard of modelling was incredible. And there were young teams, even under 16s, and it was a pleasure to see young generations getting involved with that and doing really well as well. And I think everybody was in agreement that essentially we all learnt a lot from each other and from the immersion in this sort of tight time scale and being able to use all these different products and stuff. So I think we all came away from it much better modelers, and hopefully a lot of that will come across on TV. Oh, I just got it, the Kenny Everett moment with the finger, the green foam finger. So I'm really, really behind in the comments. I'm trying to catch up, but you keep commenting far too quickly. Friday at Central Model Railway. I recently visited the Dartmouth Steam Railway. I'll be uploading the video sometime this week. Oh, grand, that is a really nice railway, actually. I've not been on it. But in my time at Britannia Royal Naval College, on the opposite side of the river, I remember with fondness watching the steam trains come and go. Warrington Transporter 2778, the PC in the loft is older than Jenny. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm 40 years old. I am definitely older than that computer. I'm even older than the Amstrad 464 that's down here. That's if you want to see more about that, do tune into Game Hammer Classic Gaming, which is Zoe's channel. Head over there and subscribe and watch her videos. But yeah, no, the one in the loft dates back to maybe about 2005. Good God, it's 14 years old. That is old. Flymo Chairman 1. Acme is also a type of thread in real life. We've probably used an Acme thread, not an Acme tunnel mouth, right enough. Bluegrass Railfan believes Acme stood for a company that makes everything, which they do, I guess. Oh, I never knew that. Basing TMD. Hi Jenny, how are you? I'm grand, thank you. How are you doing? Mark Rice, sorry about Sam's trains, but what someone's 240 volts mains to 12 volts transformer and forgets to put the transformer in pull, bang, kill the kids. Yeah, you got to be careful. Electricity is not your friend. Canadian Rail fan. Sorry, Jenny, got to go. Emergency paperwork. Sorry to see you go, but just remember you can catch up. You've probably already gone because I'm so behind in the comments. But you can catch up when you get back. The whole video will be up online. But you have a great time, and we will miss you, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Ben Davis, can't wait for the meetup. Thanks for doing it. I like transport. No, I'm ashamed to say it was me who foolishly suggested it. Don't worry, actually, it was a really great idea, and I've been toying with the idea for a while, but it's nice to know that other people wanted to do it. All I hope is that I don't get there, and I'm like Billy No Mates in an empty room. It's like, oh, nobody else came. But yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, Philip Page. Robert's train set channel uses his laptop to control trains. I have experimented with DCC at a model railway exhibition. I helped run a friend's layout, and we used smartphones connected via a wireless router to a DCC system, so you could control it from smartphones. And actually, that was a very user-friendly system, I have to say. James Hardy. Does anybody know IC82 is coming back? I don't know. I do know a little bit of the backstory behind it. It's nothing sinister, but I get the impression that things, family life, stuff going on that's not on YouTube, that's not sinister in any way, has kind of overtaken things, and his head's obviously in these other things that's going on, and I do wish him well. Will Pillsbury, I think he's called. But it's a great shame because he was a great ambassador for the hobby. He was like the original review channel here on YouTube, and he did a lot for the hobby. And in many ways, he kind of made it possible for people like me to come and know that it was a format that worked. Model Buzzers 84. Finally home now, and we are still live. Jenny, well done. Thank you very much. Mike Hatton. Hi Jenny, first time at the Monday Club. Followed you since you appeared on the more famous Hatton's website. Love the videos, but my wife Sue is now hooked on dark fruits. Oh, well, you're welcome. I did do a video with Hatton's a little while ago. We did a collaborative video. I keep trying to get Hatton's Dave and his name's just gone from my head. On the live feed, I think it's Dave lives actually not that far from here, maybe 10 minutes drive from my house. He actually lives closer to here than he does to Hatton's. In fact, he has to practically drive past my house to get to work at Hatton's. And I've been trying. I need to chase that up. Actually, I was trying to get him in as one of the special guests at some point. Philip Page, Bolton signed 9 new players today. Whew. I hear this football thing is popular, but I've never really watched it or got into it. Charles Curtis, hi Jenny, sorry I'm late. It's Labour Day in the States and it felt more like a Sunday to me. Yeah, I'm not massively familiar with a lot of the holidays in America. Perhaps you can educate me and probably be a lot of other people as well who can't be bothered looking up on Wikipedia. What's Labour Day all about? Because obviously, we have bank holidays and they probably sound a bit weird to people not familiar with them, but I'm just curious about American holidays. So is that a one-day thing? I like transport. When is I'm assuming you mean Great Model Railway Challenge 2 starts on the 30th of September and every Friday thereafter. Mr. Muffin Trains. Muffins! Hi Jenny, I'm a fan. Thank you very much. A fan blowing air at me. No, it's not. That's a Futurama joke. Let's have a look. Shade 1975-2000. I am currently building an Eastleek signal box from scratch. It was part of the Great Central Railway. Yeah, very familiar with Eastleek. That's the station that's not been reopened on the northern section, isn't it? Yeah, they built a housing estate on the goods yard, but the solicitor was a bit naughty and told the people buying the houses that the railway was closed when in fact it wasn't. So a bit of a hoo-ha over that. DNRGW Iron Horse Route, good evening to you. It's just jumped again. Leslie Gilpin, remind me his... it's jumped there. Oh, it's jumped a lot actually. I hate it when it does that. Leslie Gilpin, hey Brian. I like transport. Everyone comment quicker. No, you're actually. I'm still not up to date. This is really hard to keep up. I'm going as quick as I can. Mr. Muffin Trains, have you ever been to New Zealand? Recommend the Fielding Steam Railway Depot. I'd love to go to New Zealand. Actually, the countryside looks amazing. It's one of those things. Australia and New Zealand, I would absolutely adore going and visiting them. Canada too. But it's on the list. But I'm currently ticking off a lot of things on the bucket list. I mean, I've done TV, quite a few TV programs now. I've had a viral video. That's always good for a laugh. And I'm currently in the process of releasing an album in collaboration with Bruno Greif. It has to be said, Bruno Greif is the brains behind it. I'm like hanging on and going, what the hell am I doing here? Don't get me wrong, I like the ride, but I think you're mistaking me for somebody else. I don't know what the high pitched voice was for. Let's have a look. Warrington Transporter 2778. Is there much on at East Lancs on the 22nd? Trains are running, but you'd have to check the East Lancs Railway website just to double check. Let's have a look. It keeps jumping. Bluegrass Rail Fan. Aha. Labour Day in the United States of America is a public holiday celebrated on the first Monday in September. It honours the American labour movement and the power of collective action by labourers. So it's presumably the American equivalent of a bank holiday, but each of yours presumably have more specific names, like George Washington's birthday or something like that. But yeah, thank you very much for that. Simple copy-paste from Wikipedia. Yeah, I know, I'm being bone idle, but it's very difficult for me to do that here. Jack and Dave, I like transport. Yeah, I knew, from Hatton's. I do believe they occasionally watch live streams, certainly watch my videos. So if you're in the house, Jack and Dave, then woohoo, hi to you. And come on the live stream. You know you want to. I did speak to Ricky, who, everybody else will go, Ricky, Ricky, who's Ricky? But she's actually the media manager for Hatton, so I have a lot of dealing with her. James Carroll, IHR, what's up, dude? IHR, who's IHR? I'm scanning it, I don't know. Mr. Muffin Trains, hey Jenny, can I ask something? Do you recommend the Airfix Royal Scot? That is quite an older model. Not familiar with it at all, but I suspect if it's not split chassis, it's probably alright. I did a review of an Airfix 262 Prairie tank, and actually, despite its age, it ran perfectly well. Let's have a look. Bluegrass Railfan, all I know is I get 3 days off from work this week instead of 2, so I'll take it. Woohoo! Yeah, that is grand when that happens. 3-day weekend, can't recommend it more highly. Model Buzz 84, quick question. I'm a modern image modeler, but toying with the idea of a Black 5. Are they any good? I don't have one. I'm not sure who makes them. Is that a Bachmann model or a Hornby one? I believe it might be a Hornby actually, but it's a fully super detailed model, so I will hazard a guess that it's actually a really good model. So yeah, if you can get it at the right price, I say boom, just have it. James Carroll, IHR, I just hanging with the limey, seeing what's up across the big pond. Yeah, oh, you funny Yanks. Yeah, with your sidewalks and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. For anybody who's wondering, it's not jelly as we have. As a kid, I always wondered, watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and they're talking about jelly sandwiches, thinking, it's weird to put in a sandwich, but of course, jelly in America is what we call jam. What we call jelly, they call jello. So now that's all straightened out. But yeah, you wacky Yanks. Charles Curtis, is a federal holiday to celebrate Labour. Banks are closed and most businesses give their employees the day off. Yeah, so basically it's like a bank holiday in the UK. Mark Wilson, doesn't New Zealand have hobbits? Yes, they do. I jumped again. Ham Shackleton, I think you missed my earlier query. I've tried to connect with you several times via Facebook, but got no response. If you're messaging the Facebook page, those messages go to Zoe. I don't get them all, and it's a very flaky way of communication. I'll look into that. I'll try and see it. It may have just been missed. I'll get back to you on that. Bluegrass Railfan, the next holiday that most people got off here in the States will be Veterans Day in early November, then Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it all starts over. I've always worried that Thanksgiving is like you have 2 Christmases. It's like Christmas 1 and Christmas 2. Because the Thanksgiving meal sounds to us Brits an awful lot like a Christmas dinner. Let's have a look. Mark Rice, hi Jen, nice to see the new Princess Royal Elizabeth OO gauge from Hornby. Yeah, there's some really great models coming through, I have to say. Oh my word, I'm up to date. Mr. Muffin Trains, enjoying the live stream. Thank you very much. James Carroll, IHR, what's up on your channel? Oh, Zach Tech Tips. Hi, Auntie Jenny. I'm just at Grandma Christine's great live stream so far. Yes, Grandma Christine, a.k.a. my mum. It's very strange to hear her called Grandma. I must admit, Grandma and Grandad, to me, are actually Zach's great-grandma and great-granddad. Although my great-grandmother's sadly passed away, but certainly great-granddad's still there. Actually, my granddad. But yeah, nice to see you, Zach. How are you doing? I still find it really funny to be called Auntie Jenny. Because inside every adult, there's a teenager wondering what the heck just happened. Warrington Train Spotter 2778. Food in the US is great. I must admit, when I was last in America, yeah, I completely agree with you. The only thing is, for somebody who comes from the UK, use a lot of corn syrup, and corn syrup, if you're not used to it, it really mucks up your inside, so you do have to be a little bit careful. So corn syrup tends to be the source of an awful lot of the sugar in products in the US. So even things like Coke and that full fat Coke has corn syrup in. So for a UK digestive system, that can be a bit of a shock. But yeah, Shade. You've posted loads of stuff. Shade 1975200. Pinky had a weird voice. Pinky and the brain. Pinky and the brain. One of them's something or something. The other is insane. Yeah, I remember that from when I was younger. DNRGW Iron Horse Route. Ha 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 ha. Fresh Prince. That's great. Yeah, I loved the Fresh Prince actually. The breakout vehicle for Will Smith. Mark Wilson is now autumn, half summer, half autumn. Oh, sort of, yeah. I like transport. Someone should make the class 175. I always thought Bachmann were going to do that, but it never seems to appear. Bluegrass Railfan, the only difference is between Thanksgiving and Christmas here is the fact we put a tree up and give presents for Christmas. Thanksgiving, we just eat and get the Christmas lists ready. So it's basically Christmas without the presents. Yeah, I'll eat turkey to that. I like turkey, actually, so a good excuse to have turkey again. Shade 1975-2000. Hornby Black 5 are good. Get the super detail version. Yeah, always get the super detail version. Can't recommend them more highly. Bluegrass Railfan, but we do eat Christmas dinner. Lunch in my case, as we eat at noon, and it's almost the same as Thanksgiving. I did suspect that. I like transport. What's Brian's Modern Image Sound channel? Oh, he's just changed his channel. It used to be... Oh, what was it called? I can't remember, but if you're in the channel, do let people know. Just post it in the channel, and I'll give you a plug. I can't remember. You've recently changed. It used to be... it wasn't Cotter Small Model. Oh, what was it? No, I couldn't tell you. You'll have to post it in the channel. It is out there. I'll need to link to it. Model Buzzers 84. Looking at one on Hattons. Ah, right, yes. The Blackfire, yeah. Philip Page, we should all call Jenny Auntie Jen. See, I knew somebody who went by the internet name of Auntie Jen. That would be deeply confusing if everybody called me Auntie Jen. Zach, what are you doing to me? I know where you're coming from. I mean, it's like, I've got my Uncle Frank is actually Dr. Frank Kirk, but he's still Uncle Frank to me. Mr. Muffin Trains running an A4 Mallard with BR Mark IIIs. I know it's incorrect, but ho-hum, what works. Yeah, I do the same. To be honest, it's your railway. Do whatever you want. James Carroll, IHR, lemons and limes and jello. They'll never get them straight. Fresh Prince was at the top of the viewing list. Imagine that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mark Wilson. Someone should make the 304 EMU. Yes, some of those older EMUs are pretty nice models, but fortunately slow sellers, as proven really by some things like the Class 423, the 4 VEP, is that? A lovely model, but no sign of it reappearing. I like transport. Amen there. There are many models that should be made, yet aren't. We're getting there, actually. We've never been so many. Shade 1975-2000. I am saving up to get the Helgen and Bachmann Class 45, the non-head code versions. Yeah, looking forward to those new Helgen ones, definitely. I accidentally dropped my Bachmann Class 45. You may remember the video. We've had a little accident on the progress in the loft. The Class 45 did take a nasty knock and has a crack clean through the front buffer beam and actually the very front of the bogie. So not in the best condition. Really gutted by that. That and the Daypol Class 22, which is also a firm favourite of mine, did take the brunt. Oh, and the Helgen Class 5, which I did manage to glue back together. Leslie Gilpin, 304s. Lots of happy memories as a student used to photograph AM4s as they were. Altrincham Signal AM4. Model Buzzers 84. Behave yourself. Let's all say it. Auntie Jen. Bluegrass Railfan. There's quite a bit out there in terms of models. I think demand is the major thing about what gets produced. Yeah, totally. There's some stuff I wish N-Scale had that other scales already get. And the same with that, actually, there's some things come through in N-Gauge. It's much rarer that we're still waiting for in 00. But certainly, it's got to be commercially viable. if it won't sell, there's no point in making it. And that's one of the reasons why we've just not seen a Class 81, 82, 83 and 84. And I love those, and especially I think it's the Class 83. Some of them even got intercity livery, you know, the full sort of like executive with the swallow livery. And I would love a model of that. And I think, you know, arguably it's a much prettier model because of this extra livery than the 85, which we did get. But are we going to see it? Not for a long while, it would be my guess. Shade 1975-2000. I'm not at work today, thank God. I'm normally at work when you come on and I catch up later. Yeah, it's grand not being not being at work. I always have Mondays off. I say off. I do my other work, my media work on Mondays, but it's much more flexible. So I spent much of this afternoon in a FaceTime conference call with Bruno Greif of the Israeli pop group Terry Poison. Look them up on YouTube. They're really good, actually. And if you buy his album, tell him I sent you. Oh yeah, Mr. Muffin Trains. Do you think Hornby or Bachmann should make a Big Bertha? If they did, I would buy it. Actually, I think that is one that is commercially viable. It's one of those things. Certain locomotives have that je ne sais quoi, which makes them stand out. You know, like the Deltic DP1. There's only one of them, but it's sold incredibly well. And I think Big Bertha is another one that would work quite well. And actually, you could get that in Midland Railway livery, LMS livery, and BR livery. So 3 different liveries on that. Warrington Train Spotter 2778. The portion food size in America is very generous in the large size. Yeah, but there's a different culture in America, and I do know this. That they don't just tend to eat it all in one sitting. What tends to happen is you go to a restaurant for lunch, you have a meal, and then the leftovers, you get a doggy bag, and you take it home, and that's your tea for that evening. And in the UK, we're a little bit more reserved about it. We tend not to ask for a doggy bag for the leftovers, but in America they do. They think nothing of it, and that's their tea, their dinner, their evening meal. DNRGW, Ironhorse Route, Jennifer Kirk, do you guys ever use Cater? I don't, but they do have some great comments. Oh, it's gone off the top. They do have some great products. I'm very impressed by some of their inset track that they sell as well. I think that has amazing uses either for a dockside layout, certainly for tramways. I think it's sold for tramways, but I can see some great uses for that. Mark Wilson, the new Helgen O-Gauge Class 50 looks a monster. It certainly does, I have to say. Warrington Tradesborough 2778. I think the next DMU someone will bring out will be the new Northern Class 195 and Class 331s. Yeah, I think there's probably some of the more modern ones in the pipeline. They do tend to sell, ironically, a lot better than some of the older ones. I was hoping that a Class 1-2, is it the 124 or the 126 was going to be coming out. So the Transpennine cross-country DMU. Sadly, it didn't. But you know, I could see something like that appearing at some point. But you know, Bluegrass Railfan, Atlas, Athern have done all my local railroads around here in HO scale, but nothing in N. Unfortunately, N scale does tend to be a smaller market share. Apart from in Japan, where space is at a premium, and N gauge, as far as I understand it, is like the big market share. Oh, that's good. Anybody's just joined us wondering what I'm drinking, getting drunk on? Strongbow Dark Fruits. Model Buzzers 84. Okay, the Hornby new 156X Lima tooling. Anyone think it's good value? The RAF 100 livery. It's not an area that I'm a big expert on. That's Brian's area, Brian Long, who I haven't had on the live stream for ages. He's been a little bit ill, and then the week before last, he was down here, and then he disappeared off to the Bolton Model Club rather than doing the live stream. Boo hiss! But yeah, I keep hinting, but he's I'm not sure that he's particularly well at the moment because I haven't seen a lot of him. James Hardy, I want to see a new build Big Bertha. Yeah, actually, I think it's a new build project. That might be quite interesting. They were expensive to run because that is quite a big locomotive. Hugh M, amazing meow. Meow. There you are. Mark Wilson, what's Big Bertha? Big Bertha was an 010 tender loco. for banking on the Lickey Incline in Britain. Lickey Incline still there, still used. Oh, good God, people have been busy. These comments have just gone straight up the screen. But yeah, Mark Rice, sad that Hornby lost all the trying moulds to redo. They had the lot. Did they lose them? Because I know that the Blue Pullman, they did evaluate the moulds. I didn't realise they'd lost everything. Although I think those moulds were probably getting a bit long in the tooth compared to modern stuff. I'm not sure that they would have been any good for releasing models from. Bluegrass Railfan, well, I can get the Class 1 railroads in N, obviously, but none of the regional stuff is in N, though. I think there are decals for those items, but I'll stick to begging their manufacturers, I guess. Yeah, Rapido trains, I think, do a lot of more niche-y stuff. I don't know if they do N-gauge, though. The Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout. Good evening, Jenny, from Saint Johann in Tyrol. The Growler has gone international. Can report brand spanking new Österreich Bundesbahn trains now working between Vogel and Salzburg. Oh, well, what's the weather like over there? It's wet and miserable here. I say, you're not missing anything. That hot weather we had before you left, I think you took it with you. I like transport. I bet Hornby will come out with a new Class 91. Cavalex. Is it Cavalex? Have announced that. Oh yes, Cavalex. They will be protecting their dominance. Yeah, it's an interesting point. Are they going to do the same that they did with Rails and the Terrier? I don't know. Watch this space. Mr. Muffin Trains. Muffins. Botheration. You didn't say that, did you? Come on now, be honest. That's not what you actually said out loud. One moment. Mallard derailed on the points. Be back in a moment. They do that, don't they? A watched train never derails, but one you take your eye off does. Bluegrass Railfan. Guilty of asking for to-go boxes all the time when I eat. Some places aren't too close to home, so it's nice to enjoy some more when I can't make the trip back. Yeah, it's like the ultimate of why waste food. I asked for you go to a restaurant, an Italian restaurant, you have a pizza, you only eat half of it. I'm not having them chuck the rest out. I put it in a box, I'll take it home. But a lot of people in the UK don't. Maybe it's just a cultural thing. Letty Gilpin, Bluegrass. I thought Atlas were doing a lot of regional and short line locos in N. I'm not massively familiar with the US scene. I like a lot of stuff that I dip in and out, but I'm not knowledgeable in the area. James Hardy, Big Bertha was it wasn't. It was Midland Railway. The Midland built it. Then became absorbed by the LMS. It's a one-off loco built for the Lickey Incline. Although I believe there was 2 boilers made so that it could be put through works overhaul very quickly. Mark Rice, people say trying not good, but most of them may go on and on. Yeah, simple but reliable, but yeah, things have moved on. Bluegrass Railfan, I haven't seen the ones around here. Oh, it's just jumped again. Boo, boo, boo. I haven't seen the ones around here yet. They did Pudaka and Louisville Railroad and is it Louisville or Louisville? And Indiana units along with R.J. Corman years ago in HO scale. Bluegrass Railway Intermountain did R.J. Corman SD40T-2. Tunnel motors a year ago in N. They're impossible to find. James Petts, I have an original Lima 156 in my attic bought in the late 80s, early 90s. If Hornby are bringing out the old Lima tool, and the old Lima tools are probably quite good. It's just a case of usually better decorating, so better tempo printing, and the motor tends to get an upgrade as well. DNRGW Iron Horse Route, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. I can recommend the N-scale locos for sure. I've heard nothing but raves about the Unitrack products as well. The inset track, if I do a dock layout, I'm tempted to try out some of their inset track, Shade 1975-2000 being 44 this year. I remember the peaks at Toten and I've loved them ever since. I have 2 from the early versions I got on an auction site. Both less than 100 squids. They are the TMC batch. Oh, excellent. Warrington Trainspotted 2778. Will there be much on at East Lancashire 27? Will be worth bringing my camera. Always worth bringing your camera. Trains will be running. Not sure what is running, but basically, if you check their website, I think it does tell you. Mark Wilson, can we have a vlog of the Bolton Model Club? I can do one better than that. We're going to be doing a Jenny Monday Club live from there at some point. I've got to arrange that. But yeah, the Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout. Strongbow, not a match on a good pint of Huber Brow, very nice. Yeah, whatever's your poison. I do like, actually, some of the German beers are very nice. Bluegrass Railfan, I have 90-ish N-scale locos, probably 60 to 65 of them are Katos, and they're all excellent runners. I've heard only good things about the Kato models. Leslie Gilpin, talking to each other. That's grand. Mr. Muffins trains right back. Mallard is re-railed. Grand. Mark Wilson, I love the older Canadian Pacific Ulcos. Amazing noise. Pico actually is really good for track and turnouts. Tillig does a much more interesting range, but I believe they're very fragile and certainly more expensive. Kato and N-Gauge, a lot of stuff. But no experience of the HO/00 stuff. Shade, lots of numbers. I can't keep pronouncing that number, I'm sorry. I live right across the road from Toten Sidings. I've seen it evolve to a shadow of its former self now. All there is Class 66, 67s and 71s. What are the 71s? I thought the 71 was the Southern Region third rail electric only locos that Hornby did a model of. Yeah, is that not? You don't mean 70s? Leslie Gilpin, Rapido do N-scale. They're about to do a full Canadian set and accurate locos in N. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Rapido, although they're the kings of if you don't order it in advance, you don't get. They did the Revolution N-gauge Pendolinos. Yes, they did do N. Bluegrass Railfan, no. Yeah, Trans-Kentucky Transportation Inc. Yeah, the Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout. It's peeing down here, Jenny, but to be lovely and sunny tomorrow and Wednesday. Excellent. Bluegrass Railfan, latest guilty pleasure when it comes to restaurants is Sonny's Barbecue. Only 4 here in Kentucky. Nearest one is an hour away. Gotta love all you can eat barbecue. Yeah, that was the thing I used to love about America, was to eat all you could for $1.99. Like, especially we were in Florida, and it was like seafood buffets, and it wasn't just like padded out with rice. It was like lobster, crab, prawns. You call them shrimp, don't you? Yeah. It was all the good stuff, like $1.99. It's like I'm getting my money's worth here. Did do a barbecue restaurant. Oh, it was like a Texas barbecue thing with a show, and all I can remember was it was a great night out. You got the entertainment, and you just got stuffed full of like barbecue ribs and steak and stuff. It was brilliant. Ham Shackleton, point to a camera at a model train, it's guaranteed to derail. Yeah, I've noticed that when setting up for my... you wouldn't believe the out... Well, you probably would believe the outtakes, but yeah. It'll go around, trundle around, happily, start recording on the camera, doink. And normally as well, when you're focusing on one area, waiting for the train to come around, then you just hear this sound of a huge collision and pile up. And you look round and somehow it's come off the track, it's hit the train going the other way, and just created this huge pile of stuff. I like transport. I would hate for good food to go to waste. Amen to that. Or anything that could be used going to waste is also terrible. Mickey Wilson, didn't they use a pair of Hymex on the Lickey incline in the early 70s? I'm not sure what they used after the steamer. I know that when Big Bertha was scrapped, they did use a 9F for a while. Ali Wakeford, Jenny, have you ever thought of doing N-gauge? Not really. No, my eyesight's just not good enough for it. And I'll be honest that basically I'm happy with 00. Foxy Fan 55, hi to you. Bluegrass Rail Fan, you pronounce Louisville correctly. We all say Louisville, Louisville, or variants of. For a real twist, Versailles, Kentucky is pronounced Versailles, not Versailles. Don't know why, but that's what we do. Yeah, but you call it the Kentucky Derby. And that's weird to UK ears, because we're used to Derby. You call it the Derby. Lots of differences in pronunciation between the UK and America. They do say we're two countries divided by a common language, with your wacky aluminum and what's the other one? It took me years to work out. We call it oregano, but you call it oregano. It's like, what is that? And then I realised it's oregano. It's the stuff you put on Italian food. Weird. Really weird. Mr. Muffin Trains, do you think Horby should remake the beginner's layout? It's been out for years and I think we're ready for a change, don't you? Yeah, it could do with an update, but there is some stuff coming through in the junior range, and I'll be honest, the Pocket Rocket's actually pretty good. You've got to remember, you've got to think of this, how a 6 or 7 year old would think about it, and it's actually a great, reliable, rugged toy, and kids like stuff that's fast. Pocket Rocket. James Carroll, IHR, good for you this time. Take your time, don't rush through, use your largest look, and then got these 2 radius sizes larger than your trains won't derail and won't seem toy-like. Brockwell Lane, all diesels at Eastlands on the 21st, but back to Steam on the 22nd. Right, so we're getting Steam. Right, the reason we're on a Sunday is A, because Sunday's good for most people, and also it's good for me, because even though I work weekends, I only work the Saturday of weekends, so... and also East Lancs Railway's not open on a Monday or a Tuesday. Mark Wilson, my first set in the early 70s was a battery operated big blue train, a large blue high-mech coaches and red plastic track. Oh yeah, was that the big train? DNRGW Iron Horse Route. Yes, shrimp stew, shrimp burger, shrimp salad, shrimp sandwich. Oh, that's like Bubba, what's his name from Forrest Gump, and he just keeps talking about different things you can do with shrimp. James Hardy, yeah, went the set called Big. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, shade, big number, could be 70. So yeah, because the 71s is the it's what a lot of them got rebuilt into the class 74, the big air, the electro diesels. But some of them didn't, and one of the class 71s survives actually. Went to the National Collection, so it does survive. I'm covering the thing with jelly babies. James Carroll, Florida seafood is always good and goes done well with ice cold beer. Yeah, I can imagine that. Nothing better than being on Tampa Beach, Tampa Bay, with a barbecue. And huge prawns, or shrimp, whatever you call them, like lobster tails and stuff. Just do them on the barbie. I've got relatives that live around that area. We did visit them last time I was in Florida, but oh god, that was like 25 years ago, something like that. I like transport. Unfortunately, Hornby have now fitted low torque, slow motors to pocket rockets. Not as good for young kids, yeah, but they don't fly off the track on the corners, and possibly means that they're easier to DCC fit. DNRGW at the Iron Horse Route, that's where I live, where Katrina hit. Is that Tampa Bay? Oh, right. So, I can't remember the surname. Uncle Davy. What was his surname? Might be Morgan's, but yeah, it's like people where the stereotype Americans that go, oh, do you know John? He lives just outside London. It's like, that's a big country. Tallahassee. The Tallahassee, is it Tallahassee Bridge? There's a famous song about that. Jump off the Tallahassee Bridge. Leslie Gilpin, if you hit the US or Canadian West Coast, try the fish and chips. Usually much better than the stuff you get here. Interesting. Ben Davis, would you do one meetup in London or Peterborough, Birmingham? Because it's too far away. Thanks anyway. Maybe in time. Bluebell Railway, perhaps. Essentially, at the moment, East Lancs Railway is like 10 minutes drive from my house. So I'm being really selfish in making it convenient for me. But yeah, in the future maybe we'll do stuff. Actually, we could arrange some kind of a meetup at Alexandra Palace at the Festival of Railway Modelling. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. The Festival of Railway Modelling, we'll have a little meetup. We'll pick a day, pick a time, and if people want to show up, I believe I might be being asked again to do little talks and get interviewed. But yeah, we'll do something. We'll sort something out. Oh, right, sorry. DNRGW, Iron Horse Route, where Bubba Gump lived. Right, I'm with you. Mr. Muffin Trains. I proudly own a pocket rocket. It's quite a funny favourite at my modelled train club. Whatever floats your boat. Bluegrass Railfan says chips in the US will probably get you potato chips. Yeah, crisp. Yeah, oh yeah, that's it. You mean fries, French fries, or what do you call them now? Freedom fries, or cheese-eating surrender monkey fries. It was a thing. Was it? Was that George Bush who did that? George Bush Jr. Philip Page, I always ask for chips in McD's. Yeah, I do. And I refuse steadfastly to say chicken McNuggets. I always call them, I'll have chicken nuggets, please. James Pets, I approve of the idea of an L-form meetup. Yeah, we'll sort that out, actually, because I should be there all weekend. Bluegrass Railfan, Philip, that would get you some confused looks around here. James Hardy, I wonder what Hornby are going to release next year. And I guess if the Peckett B2 is amazingly successful still, and the W4 Pecketts are still selling really, really well, I would suspect that there may be another industrial locomotive. As to what it would be, Hattons have done the Andrew Barclay, and by all accounts that's been very, very successful. So maybe a Hudswell Clark. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Oh, right. James Carroll, Jenny, the Tallahatchie Bridge in Arkansas, not Tallahassee. Right, I'm with you. Sorry, my geography of America is basically, if the city wasn't in the game Railroad Tycoon, then I'm not really familiar with where everywhere is. Oh, Mark Wilson, do Americans call bread rolls biscuits? It might be a certain type of bread rolls. I'm not sure, actually. It's ringing a bell. Yeah, Bluegrass Railfan, the Freedom Fries thing was a long time ago. Yeah, I think that was George Bush Jr., wasn't it? W. Ben Davis, great live stream as always. Oh, just jump. Would you do a meetup in London? Oh, right, sorry, I've already read that, yeah. Mark Wilson, yes, Wally meetup for the AJMC. Auntie Jenny Monday Club. I need to work out if it will be a Sunday going to Wally. I'll tell you that now, and that's due to work. So it would have to be on a Sunday, but certainly if I do go to Wally, I will let people know, and we will arrange a time and a place in that hall. So we shall meet with the Red Rose by the Class 14XX, on a low loader or in front of the rail stand. We'll do a flash mob. Maybe we should do a flash mob in front of the Backman stand. Or in front of Simon Kohler and just turn your back on him and go, Jenny Kirk, it's great to meet you. Hey Simon, just wait your turn. A funny story, actually. When I ran the student radio station at Durham University, there was a couple of guys there who did the breakfast show, and for a laugh, they went to I think it was what was his name? Simon Mayo was doing a book signing in Manchester at the Waterstones. And they both went to get the book signed. And what they did was one of them was in the queue and the other waited until they got to the front and then rushed up to him and went, "Oh, it's Mike from Purple FM. Oh, Grant, can I have your autograph?" And completely blanked Simon Mayo. And it was just like, I guess you had to be there. Oh, yes, you did. This hat's too small for me, but I'm wearing my crown. Who's Queen? Right. Yeah, I like transport. I'm wondering if you're right there, and the Hornby will release a 91 probably. Will they do the same trick that they pulled with the Rails stroke Daypole Terrier? Or do they have to be careful because people are kind of like, we'll let it slide the once, but if you do it again, it's going to get you a reputation. Mr. Muffin Trains, well, I'm tuning out now. Got to get ready for school. It's Tuesday here. I will watch your next video. Well, look, you have yourself a great day at school, and I will catch you here again, the Jenny Monday Club, next Monday from 7 o'clock BST, which is GMT plus 1, if you're wondering what the heck British summertime actually is. That's right, so are we. I think, we're wondering as well. Yeah, James Hardy, actually, I want a 16-inch Hunslet. There's so many industrial locos that we could get, I think maybe there's a market for some of the locos that the likes of Bayer Peacock and that exported. Ben Davis, that would be nice to see A4 running. Oh, they've got Union of South Africa at the East Lancs running on that day. Bluegrass Reference, rolls you usually get at some sit-down restaurants. Biscuits you get with jelly, jam, or sausage gravy, whichever suits. Right, I'm with you. Mark Wilson, are Hornby producing a Coca-Cola range? Yes, they are. It's sort of like a pocket rockety railroad type thing, but all liveried up in railroad liveries. And actually, I'm looking forward to it, not because I want it for my own layout, because I think that Hornby have kind of got their finger on the pulse, and no more so than with the junior range that I reviewed, the Paddington junior starter set range. And you just got to remember, they're not really aimed at us, but if it brings new people, the younger generation, into the hobby, and what's the word I'm looking for? Cultures that interest, nurtures that interest, then I think it can only be a good thing for the hobby. So I've actually asked Hornby whether they'd let me do a box opening and review with one of those. So yeah, it's definitely coming. But yeah, I like transport. That is actually right. Hornby plans some releases up to 5 years in advance. They certainly do. But they're very good actually. They don't announce things usually until much closer to the time. Unlike Bachmann with their Class 24-1 or their VEA van, they basically bagsied years in advance. That is refreshing, but I don't think I could open the second one because I get a little bit of junk. Philip Page, why do Mackie D's not do vinegar? I always ask for some. That's an interesting point actually, but vinegar on your chips is very much a British thing, but Burger King and McDonald's, they're more of the sort of that US fast food burger joint kind of thing. So yeah. Brockwell Lane, the Hornby Pocket Rocket is based on the Caledonian Railway 264 class. Maybe a new super detailed version should be made. Yeah, actually that would be nice to see, because the ex-Lancashire and Yorkshire Pug is a lovely model. So a decent Cali Pug would actually go down quite well. But also the Class 6 diesel shunter, which was the diesel version of the Pocket Rocket. I would love to see an actual decent version of that. James Carroll, Jenny, you're forgiven. Oh, Canadian Rail fan, hi, I'm back. Welcome back to the live stream. And we're still off on a tangent out in uncharted unknown, just shooting the breeze. But it's good to have you back. Bluegrass Rail fan, it's just jumped. I've seen chips, brackets, crisps at some fast food places that are trying to do healthy options. I'm sorry, crisps never do healthy. James Pets, I approve of crowns. Oh yes, especially if they're made of gold and silver and have rubies and sapphires and emeralds in. I like sapphires, rubies and emeralds. They're just really nice. I'm not a big fan of diamonds, it has to say. Not that I own any of those things. What do you think I am, made of money? No, if I had money for a diamond ring, I'd be spending that money on model train porn. Bluegrass Rail Fine. I think I'm about 5 hours behind. It's only 3:53. So you're coming up on 4. We're coming up on 9 o'clock here. Shade, big long number. Do a day at the GCR at Loughborough. Actually, a Great Central Railway would be really pretty nice. James Pets, what's the word you're looking for? Kittens. Mark Wilson, is that a cowboy hat? No, it's sort of like the man from Del Monte. He say yes. It's that kind of a straw hat, but on my head, because basically this is one size fits all. No, it doesn't. I've got a really big head, so it sits unusually high, and I get told off if I squash it onto my head, which I'm not going to do. It looks like a cowboy hat. Yeah, I must admit, I was looking at that and thinking I should be saying, "Hi, I'm in the oil. I'm in the oil business. Who shot JR?" DNRGW Einhorst Route. We're talking about the younger generation. Does that mean we weren't them anymore? I'm afraid I'm not anymore. I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now it seems scary and weird and alien, and I just gibber in a corner. Bluegrass Railfan, seems there's a lot of operating steam locomotives in the UK. Wish the US was close to that. I think we're making progress though. I think in the UK there was more of a drive to save stuff, and we were helped an awful lot by Dyewood and Scrapyard, that he kind of hoarded a lot of these locomotives but didn't get round to scrapping them, whereas in a lot of other countries stuff got scrapped relatively quickly. Philip Page, cowgirl hat. Yeah, maybe. Canadian rail fan. Right, I'm back. How drunk are you, Jenny? Very. Yes, I am a lightweight, James Carroll. Yes. I am toasted. Yeah, I just say I'm probably allergic to alcohol or something. I like transport. Sorry, but the hat doesn't suit you. I know, I could have told you that as well. I've seen worse hats on me. I don't do hats. Even at Christmas, it has to be said, I refuse to wear the paper hats. Leslie Gilpin. Not another YouTube kitten. Oh yeah, there's lots of, I don't know what they call them, people with the kitty ears and stuff. I do have kitty ears, actually, in the other room. I wear them to parties. When I was younger and thinner and could get away with it. Shade, big number. It's like some stuff in Scotland and England. What are we talking about there? Are we... Right. Bluegrass Rail fan. A Simpsons quote. Yeah, Grandpa Simpson says that. James Carroll. IHR. Remember, she's a bit tipsy. Yeah. You're telling me. Bluegrass Rail fan. We have 3 steam projects ongoing around here, as in a 2-hour drive from my home. All going under restoration, but one may be operating as soon as next year. Fingers crossed. It'd be interesting. I've got a vague idea of sort of like roughly what sort of numbers of steam locos there are knocking about the UK, and there are quite a lot. But in terms of what survives in places like Canada or America, I really don't know. I know that France is particularly poorly served for preserved steam locomotives. Australia does have a few, but again, I don't know. I really don't know how much stuff survives in other countries. Canadian rail fan. I get to go on the gun range on Wednesday. Ooh. I used to enjoy doing that when I was in the Sea Cadets, shooting. I did shooting competitions. And to anybody who doesn't know the UK, it can be a bit weird, this notion of people from the UK talking about shooting, because guns, we just don't have them here. But we do. But they're very, you can go to a range and you can go shooting, and I did with cadets. So we're familiar, we know what guns are, we just don't need them knocking about the house. Ben Davis, that would be great if we could meet at Alexandra Palace. Thanks for looking at my comments, Jenny Kirk. Have a great night. Grand, you too. Have a great night too, and hopefully maybe see you at Ali Pally. The Growler Blackwood N-Gauge layout, another of my Bachmann locos, is now suffering from split gears. Have to say, I think Dapol N-Gauge locos are better engineered than Bachmann. Not sure if the Dapol locos are made in the UK. I don't think the locos are, but certainly a lot of the wagons are. Definitely an O-gauge they are. But the split gear thing, yeah, it plagued Bachmann locos, certainly there was a period where I think the plastic shrank and it caused them to split. But the Bachmann spare service is surprisingly good, so it's always worth contacting them. You can get the spare gears relatively easily from them, at least you could back when I was replacing split gears in locomotives. Philip Page, I lived near Ali Pally when at college in the 60s. Yeah, it's a lovely place actually. I went to it for the first time this year just gone. I was one of the people on the panel, and actually I described it as being an architectural orgasm. Bluegrass Rail fan, Chesapeake and Ohio 2716 is the one that might be running soon. LNN 152 is 15 minutes from my house. They just got a huge monetary grant for their work. NC and STL 576 is undergoing work in Nashville too. Excellent. Brockwell Lane, why does nobody do a good HO scale 1880s American 440 like you do in the cowboy movies? Or do they? Bachmann certainly did a 440 like a Jupiter, I think they sold it as, but they've been doing that since the 70s. I don't know how good a model it is. I suspect it's probably not the greatest model, but yeah, and a classic American 440 loco with the big spark arrestor smokestack and the cowcatcher on the front. I think actually, yeah, that would be a nice model. I could. Somebody let us know if a decent model of that is done. Leslie Gilpin, hope Illinois Railroad Museum has something in steam on the 14th. I know the E5 diesel will be running. Brian Smith, my belly is full. Just had ricotta stuffed with ravioli. Oh, sorry, ricotta stuffed ravioli. Only just tuned in. Hi, Jenny. Hi to you. Just wondering, can you do a feature on buses for your layout that fit with your layout era? I'm not massively knowledgeable with buses, but I don't know if she's watching, but Susie Scott is the bus aficionado. And I know that she does watch a lot of the live streams and a lot of my videos. So Susie Scott, if you hear this, then certainly maybe we'll get you on as a guest or something. We can talk about buses and classic buses in particular, ones that fit eras. But I know certainly around here a lot of buses were fairly long-lived. They did tend to get rebuilt and last. Obviously getting new liveries, but some pretty old ones did persist, and quite often they get cascaded to the smaller bus companies that buy up these older buses. But I'm not a massive expert on buses, it has to be said. Bluegrass Railfan, that's a museum I need to visit, Leslie. That up in northern Illinois. I saw a museum over here, Springfield, Illinois, years ago that had Southern 401 running. I'm not familiar with a lot of American railroad museums. I know that there are quite a few, but I'll have to look that up. I'm not, like I said before, I'm not like fully up to speed with the preservation schemes in other countries, but know a fair amount about the UK scene. Canadian Railfan, in Australia they have standard gauge Bayer Garrett, only one in World that is standard gauge. It is mainline certified. I thought they've got a couple. Isn't there one sort of sat in a field that was part of a failed preservation attempt? Bluegrass Railfan, I think Bachmann has done some 440 American types. Atlas did one in N. I have one as part of an American Civil War train set. Yeah, Bachmann did do the 440 American Jupiter, but I think that's a model that dates back to the 70s. They may have updated it, but I certainly haven't seen one in the flesh. Bluegrass Railfan, model train stuff has several 440 American types in HO scale. Interesting. DNRGW Iron Horse Route, I have to step away, but if I don't get back before the end of the stream, thank you. You're absolutely welcome, and it's been a pleasure to have you in the chat room, to have you in the live stream. Really nice talking with you, and hopefully we'll see you next week at 7 o'clock BST. Although actually, I must check actually when we get the clocks go back and we go into GMT. It's the good one, I think, this time of the year where you get the extra hours. You get a 25-hour day. There's a day at the beginning of the year where you get a 23-hour day, and it's like, yeah, I don't know why we do it. Well, I do know why we do it, but I really don't see the point in us doing it anymore. It's just confusing. In all honesty, we should probably stay in the same time zone as the rest of Europe. Rather than flitting about. James Carroll, I have a Hallmark brass circa 1995 440 bought on eBay for $300. Canadian Railfan, my layout at the moment is just plain baseboards. Everybody's got to start somewhere. Mallard the Duck, good evening to you. Great to have you aboard. I like transport. I asked Daypole what's made in the UK and what's not. They said we make some NOO and O gauge wagons in the UK in our Chirk factory. Yeah, it's wagons. And I think kits as well. Anything that's fairly simple, they do. But locomotives, I'm guessing, are still made in China. Bluegrass Railfan, checking model rail stuff. I see the Jupiter 440 along with models for the Baltimore and Ohio and the Pensy. 440s were everywhere back then. Yeah, well, the actual locos were referred to as American. They were the archetype of America. I think the moguls and the consolidations, so 260 and 280 types. Also the 460 10-wheelers. There were a lot of other types that were very, very widespread that came later, but certainly the 440 American is like the stereotypical one. I like transport, while some of the more complicated wagons are currently made in China. All our locals are made in China due to the extreme cost that would rise if these were produced in the UK. Yeah, and the kits are definitely in Chirk. Yeah. Why do we get off topic so quickly, says Canadian Railfan. Why indeed? I think it's because you all keep asking me questions. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Great Model Railway Challenge. This year, there's been a few changes to the format. Most noticeably, there's 15 teams. 3 teams per episode. The first 5 episodes are all the heats, and then you've got 2 semi-finals and 1 final. But 3 teams in each of the heats, 3 teams in each of the semi-finals, and 4 teams in the final. How does this work, you may ask? Well, what actually happens is 1 team goes through from each of the heats. So that's 5 teams make it through to the semi-finals, but they need 6. So there's also a wild card, which I believe was the highest scoring second place layout from any of the heats. So basically, one of the heats had 2 of the 3 layouts go through to the semi-final stage. In the semi-finals, again, 3 teams per semi-final, 2 thereof, but this is where things get a bit different. 2 teams from each of the semi-final go through to the final to give you the 4 teams in the final. So basically the way that works, the first and second places in both of the semi-finals go through, and that is how the makeup of the final was done. And essentially then you've got 4 teams competing for first, second, third and 4th place, although there was only a trophy for the first place. And I believe the trophy is the same style of trophy as the one last year, but it's not. It's obviously they didn't get made to give it back. The team that wins gets to keep the trophy. So what else do I know that I can tell you about the Great Model Railway Challenge? Well, certainly as well, they've tried to focus more on the how-to, the actual looking at building a model railway. So they've tried to film people doing specific things, kit building, scratch building, scenery work. Certainly the idea was to focus on an easy to follow. People wanted to see people actually showing how you built things, and that is something that Pat Doyle, the series producer, and Daniela, who was also a producer on the series, were very keen to focus on, and they did. I witnessed that during filming. Indeed, they filmed me doing a particular, showing you how building, I can't tell you what it is, but when you see it, as long as it hasn't got to the cutting room floor, basically leading you through step by step building something. They didn't ask me like build this. They were very keen to hover around the teams and film them doing the stuff. So it's rather than focusing on gimmicky rubbish, it was very much focused on the building and like showing, not telling. Sorry, I'm just loving the jelly babies. Mallard the Duck. When is it on? Starts on the 13th of September, Friday the 13th. I think it's 8 p.m, but don't quote me on that. Double check that. And then every Friday at the same time thereafter for 8 episodes. Canadian Rail fan, when your episode is aired, will we get to see the layout on the channel? Yes, you will. I do have a lot of video of the layout, and I have a lot of photographs of the layout. Very extensive. I haven't been able to share any of them, obviously, because it's embargoed. Essentially, at the moment, the layout is in storage in the warehouse of Hattons. So, Jack and Dave from Hattons have seen it, and other staff at Hattons have seen it. But it's tucked away in their warehouse. You just can't see it. If you're a big name YouTuber who's been invited to do a film tour of Hattons, as I have, then chances are you may have seen it. But as far as I'm aware, I know myself, Sam's Trains, Cottesmore, New Junction as well have been there. But I don't know. I don't know if they've been recently, but they're the only people who would be likely to have seen it. But as soon as the episode airs, which will be on the 20th of September, is the heat that I was in, which is Heat 2. I can't tell you the theme of that because as far as I'm aware, I don't think it's been officially announced. So even though it's probably not important to tell you the theme of the layout, of all 3 layouts of the builds, I'm not going to, because I don't know. I don't know if that's embargoed or not. But certainly once that episode is aired, we can bang up a video a full video of them filming that, of it being built, all that kind of thing. I did take a lot of footage actually during the heat, so there will be videos. Also got a ride on the Fawley Hill Railway, and I got a lot of footage in that. Got in-cab footage with the Class 3 shunter, which is apparently a really rare loco to get haulage with, because it passed into preservation in the early 80s, and I'm led to believe until recently hadn't particularly run anywhere. So a very rare haulage on that. It's an incredibly steep railway, 1 in 13 on a tight bend at one point. So they have to be very careful not to skid off down the hill. Apparently, in the early days, they did accidentally roll away down the hill, lost control, and ended up nearly coming off the track, and certainly shifting a lot of the track quite badly. They reckon it moved about 18 inches on the corner down near the bottom. So very hairy. They've got to be ever so careful. I'm only glancing at your comments now because I'm trying to talk about the topic. Ben Davis, Canadian rail fan, was layout 10 by 5. Yeah, it was 10 foot by 5 foot approximately. It wasn't quite, but it was supposed to be that size. Ben Davis, hi Jennifer Kirk. Did you see Hatton's post 3 hours ago on the N7 from Oxdale and BR Lakecrest? What do you think of it? The N7 is actually, I know I only gave it like 5.5 out of 10, but I got a dud. So I was a bit annoyed about the quality control, but the fundamental model is sound. There's a lot of weight to it. I haven't run mine extensively. I did get a replacement for the dud copy, so I look back now and think I was perhaps a little bit cruel in the review, but as I said at the time, I call it as I see it at the time, the model as presented. In the same way that you buy a model and you get it home, if you get it out of the box and it doesn't work, you'd be disappointed as well. So, it's a case of, it's a true test of the quality control, I guess. But yeah, fundamentally, it's actually quite a good model. And maybe I should do an update on that. Perhaps I'll mention that in one of the Friday videos. But I haven't DCC chipped it yet, which means it hasn't done a lot of running on the loft layout Weir yard. But it is on the cards to get DCC chipped. So if you want the BR Black one that's just been released, then certainly, yes, I can recommend it as a model. You won't be disappointed unless you get a dud like I did with the Great Eastern Railway livery. But yeah, go for it. Warrington Tradespotter 2778, is the final being shown live or is it pre-recorded? It's all pre-recorded. Everything wrapped filming in June? I think it was June. Certainly, I mean, I went to the final. They had invited a lot of people back to be in the audience. So I'm not giving anything away by saying I was at the final. But it's all been wrapped. I know exactly who has won GMRC. I have a photograph of that team with the trophy, but I can't tell you who that is. You will have to watch the series to find out. But, no big secret. Anybody involved in the filming knows who won. Just one of those things. I was there. I saw things. The layout will go and do the exhibition circuit. As of yet, we've only got a loose invite to Alexandra Palace, but hopefully after the episode airs, then invites might start flooding in. And yeah, I would like to take it out and do some exhibitions with it. But obviously some of the bigger exhibitions, essentially I'd like to go and maybe do like Nottingham, maybe Model Rail Scotland. Excuse me. So certainly, yeah. If you know the people who are involved with booking for some of the big shows, then certainly they can watch it. But some of the other layouts as well are very, very good. The standard of modelling this year was incredibly good. Canadian Rail fan, I do talk to some people on where GMRC 2 sounds very nice. The second series is tons better than the first series. Not to say the first series was bad. But the second series, they've found their feet. They've got the feedback on what people want to see. So this is going to be bigger, badder, yellower. It really is a great series. And I know I've spoken to Pat Doyle, who's the series producer, and he said to me that he's seeing the rough cuts of the episodes in the editing suite, and he's saying we've got something special here. And yeah, definitely going to be great to watch, more so than last time. I know there are people out there in internet land who are snootily trying to put it down, but you know what it's like. The armchair critic rivet counters, you know, the people sat at home in their underwear in the parents' basement. You know, it's like, as I said, those that can do, those that can't criticise, and those that can't criticise sit all day writing gay and fake in the comments on YouTube videos. Canadian Rail fan, is there no bare baseboards? Well, we start out with bare baseboards, but by the end, I'm not aware of any team that didn't manage to produce what looked like a complete layout. There weren't bare baseboards, nothing like that. The Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout, please bring it to Model Rail Scotland. If invited, then certainly, yeah, I'd love to do Model Rail Scotland. So if you know the people in charge of booking for that, then do get them to watch. It's on the 20th of September, and they can see the layout in the flesh as it's broadcast. Oh, who's Legin? I think you've got your return key. You're gonna get kick banned if you don't stop it. Oh, just give me a moment. There we go. Yeah. We're getting somebody. I hate it when people spam stuff. It's not big, and it's not clever. There we go. Right, let's have a look. Let's just scroll back up. I like transit. Sorry, I missed which model this is you're talking about. So we're talking about the Heats layout that I was on the team that built for Great Model Railway Challenge Series 2. So, who is this person now? Just give me a moment. Why is it still appearing? For some reason, their comments keep... I don't know why it keeps appearing, because this user has been hidden on this channel. Just give me one moment. There's always somebody, isn't there, who likes to show the world how much of a tosser they are. Yeah. Right. Zoe, problem. How do I boot and block a spammer? It just keeps coming back.
Where is it?
This person. Every time I remove it, and it just keeps turning back up.
Okay.
Just give us a moment here. We'll deal with the troll. But I've reported them, and I keep deleting the and it just keeps.
Yeah, we're going to put them in a timeout. So
already done that. Well said, Warrington Train Spotter 2778.
Okay. They're blocked. Report the user. Spam. Report.
So why, after I did that, did it keep the comments just keep turning up, or did it mean that they just like auto posted like hundreds of messages?
They'd auto posted. You've already blocked them.
Right. What does that mean? Have they been commenting on all my videos?
Looks like.
Interesting. It would appear that they've commented on all of my videos. So I'll let you go and have a look at that and see what they're actually saying. It's a live stream and spammed.
Right, they should be gone.
Does that mean they'll remove any spammy posts that they've put on?
You'd hope so, but it's YouTube, so who knows?
Anywho, yeah, Fly Mode Chairman one. Yeah, there's always one, isn't there? Yeah, taking time out at the tool factory, making copies of themselves to inflict their knobheadery on decent, honest people like ourselves. Right. Zoe, they just turned back up.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I don't get it.
Okay, he needs to seriously just...
Now that just removes one
Yes,
comment.
okay, give me a second. Hide user on this channel. This creature needs to go.
Legend, whoever you are, you're in knobhead.
Yeah. This...
I don't know how they're doing it, to be honest with you. Unwanted spam.
No, it's not. It's harassment.
I don't understand how they're able to...
Why can't we kick him? Why can't we just remove him? Okay. Who's someone that you trust?
Okay, what about Warrington Train Spotter 2778?
Okay, Warrington Transporter, I'm making you a moderator. See if you can remove him, because I don't seem to be able to.
Okay, Warrington Train Spotter 277.
This channel does not have any content. What a surprise. Okay, they're
they're
banned. So how did they get in? Multiple machines and accounts, yeah. This,
All it does is remove one.
yeah, it's multiple accounts.
I don't get it. How can they have multiple accounts that all have the same name?
Yeah, he's on auto redirect with different each time. Yeah. See what I mean? It's all of them are just coming back. It's a... Okay, get off. Yeah, get your hands off. I'm trying to deal with this ridiculous non-human thing. Okay, have we got them all? What a worthless little creature it is.
Yeah. Taking timeouts from masturbating in their parents' basement. Right. What's the idea, Canadian Rail fan?
Just remember, we can't kill anyone.
Yeah. We can't... Yeah. Hopefully they're gone. Yeah, Warrington Train Spotted 2778. You're currently a moderator. We made you a moderator, so just come back. Where's it come back?
It hasn't.
I think
They've just come back and they're saying that person's a weird person. And there it is.
yeah.
There it is again.
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
Don't add him as a moderator.
No.
Just
report.
hate speech.
Oh, not you.
Unfortunately, people are like that. Should do
Yeah.
stream reason. Yeah, you could do that. It is 9:30. You've actually gone half an hour
Yeah,
over
to be
now.
honest, we're going to... how would we do that? So we just stop the stream and then restart?
Yeah, you can do. Right, guys, we'll be back.
Just give me one moment.